एक दिन हमें समझ में आया, unless and until you become a good human being, you can never be an actor. You know, so that's not true actually.
Let the cameras go on.
Oh, the cameras are not running.
नहीं, रुकिए ना.
अब मैं रिपीट नहीं करने वाला ये.
Irfan, thank you so much for making time for FC Unfiltered.
Thank you, Anupma.
You know, I read somewhere.
you.
Yes, and thank you to this amazing audience. You know,
I hope इससे हमारी फिल्म को कोई benefit होगा.
yeah, bottom line ये है. But you know, Irfan, I read somewhere that after Sharmila Tagore saw The Namesake, she sent you a message saying, "Thank your parents for giving you birth."
I swear, sometimes I've got kind of praise or kind of acknowledgement from people which was so moving, and there were no compliments. It was like somebody has just poured their heart out.
So Irfan, what are the choices that you've made that have made you the man you are today?
Getting bored with oneself, just to avoid getting bored with oneself, to keep my profession, because I had no other way to keep engaged myself, no other way. I had choices when I was teenager. I could have indulged in few things and it could have engaged me, but somehow my naive mind, whatever, it kept telling me that you need to find your space where you could engage yourself, because I'm terrified with myself. I have a lot of anger, I have a lot of anxiety, I get bored with things very easily, and I could never fit into the system, any kind of system.
But are there any favorite failures?
Oh yes, there are favorite failures. I won't call it failure, but it was a kind of traumatic experience. In a way, they are failure. Like when I was 7 years old, I was passionate about flying kites, and we were not well-to-do. Although I belonged to a feudal family, but my father didn't take anything, so we were still living in a rental house, and our terraces didn't have protection. It was itna sa diwar hai, and in the evening I was trying to catch a thread from it was hanging from an electric wire, and I just was trying to catch it, and I fell down, and I broke all my this ankle, this wrist and this elbow, and that took at least 2 years for me to recover, because my father was not there. My father was a hunter, so he was out, so nobody knew what to do. So it stayed like that.
अभी भी टेढ़ा है?
No, मतलब टेढ़ा है, लेकिन but I can I'm okay with it. But I couldn't straighten it, and then slowly started losing strength. Again, पहलवानों के चक्कर इसको सीधा करने के लिए. So then he used to मालिश करता था वो, और खींच के सीधा करता था, and that was so traumatic for me. मुझे नाइटमेयर्स आते थे कि अब मैं जाऊंगा और वो कब ऐसे खींच के इसको ऐसा कर देगा. Kids are they are spontaneous, and they don't understand what is cruelty, and they get indulged in making fun of each other. Whole school used to make fun of me, and I started getting into my shell, and I was, as it is, I was very shy guy, and suddenly I lost all the confidence and everything. I was just living in dreams at the time, and it lost so much of strength that मैं later रहता था. My pastime was like my hand is like this, and I used to pick it up like this, and I used to see कि इधर गिरेगा या इधर गिरेगा. So मेरा pastime था वो, मैं ऐसे उठाऊंगा उसको, फिर देखूंगा अरे इधर गिर गया, अरे इधर गिर गया. So this traumatic experience, and this being oneself in so much of a shell, it made me realize, it made me notice things that I used to notice that whatever I am, people are not perceiving me like that. People are not, they don't know what is there inside me or what lies inside me. So when I was aware of this, so there was a kind of organic need for me to come out of myself and do something so that people realize what I am.
But Irfan, how does a child who grows up very far away from anything to do with cinema then sort of finds the courage to go into, say that I want to be an actor and go to drama school, and then I read that you were so insecure about the way you look that you would sleep with a pin on your nose.
Yeah.
How do you then get past all of that and say, I'm going to make this work?
You don't need to tell that, you know.
You don't have to talk to yourself, you don't have to sort of pump yourself up.
Pump the inspiration. Sure, this is the kind of thing which I was suffering from when I came to in this city. In Delhi, there was an atmosphere where I could watch international cinema, European cinema. I was introduced to all this kind of cinema, and that was my lot of source of inspiration, and I've learned a lot from those movies. When I came to this city, I was almost like in the middle of a mandi. Nobody talks about cinema, nobody discusses, you don't watch interesting cinema, where do you watch it? The time when I came. So my struggle was to just keep my inspiration going. The first thing I bought from my income was VCR, and I was looking for films, and that time I realized that this is not my real drive. Otherwise the inspiration would have been there even without watching films. So that time I realized that this is a cultivated interest of mine. I have cultivated it, so I have to keep it up, keep it going. So I need to buy VCR, and I need to watch good cinema so that my inspiration is pumped up. Not myself by saying that I'm a good actor. I should watch actors who give me a kind of goalpost. Okay, reach there. Experience that, explore a character with these so many dimensions, make a character so you have goalposts, but you can't keep pumping yourself saying that I'm a good actor. That would be a folly. I think it can work for certain people for sure, but it won't work for me.
You need something else.
I need something else. But there are people who love to say that I love myself and I'm great, and it works for them. And there's no judgment about it that they are wrong or I am right. It's each to his own, what works for them.
So I don't know how many of you know this, but Irfan is perhaps the only actor in the world who has worked with both Ang Lee and Anis Bazmi. Okay, there is no other person on the planet who has managed that. And Irfan, you've made it look natural and easy at both ends of this spectrum. What does that take?
Because I'm still struggling to see myself as an accomplished actor where I'm playing with the craft. I'm still struggling. The thing is, a lot of my time I give a lot of time to Hindi cinema, and here you don't have so many challenges where you can keep polishing yourself as an actor. I go there for 4 months, 3 months. Then again I have to come back here, and I'm still working on my craft. I'm still not as easy as Mark Ruffalo. So that keeps you going. That keeps you. You should be that easy. Then you'll start enjoying the being an actor. So maybe I'll reach there very soon.
But Irfan, you said, when you were talking about Hindi cinema, you said that we can live without nuance here. You said what we need more is attitude. So even if you give a superficial performance, it can still work because we're not aiming for nuance. But what does it take to give that superficial performance? Does it require a high level of skill? What do you do to create that attitude performance as opposed to what you do in the West?
That's just there. You don't need to work on it. The only work you do is that you don't work too much. That you don't put your own sensibility onto it, and make it liability.
So you purposely dumb yourself down?
Yeah, not dumb. No. Huh. Don't research on that character. Don't find its background and see nuances of his behavior, this and that. You know that this is there to give a kind of goosebumps to people, and And don't bring in all those shades, man. Don't work too much over it, you know. Just flow with the flow, you know. Have a good time when you're doing Anis Bazmi's movie. You have related to that humor, you know. You have enjoyed that. So go on the sets and have fun with it.
And that's it.
That's it. And that's how, as an actor, because I want to tell them this, that there's no one formula which fits into when you're working on a character. There's not one formula which works for every character. You know, you will keep discovering new ways of doing it. That's what you have to discover, that each and every character needs a different kind of approach to reach him. There's some kind of revelation that's happened with me. You know, I was doing a movie with one of my favorite director, Anup Singh, and he narrated me the story, and something came, you know, I just realized that I cannot work on this character because his narrative is musical. He sees music in everything. Even in your behavior, he sees music, rhythm. His shot taking is like that. His way of telling a story is like that. Because in earlier film, Qissa, I was not ready to do that because it's too dark a subject. I said, "Yaar, Anup, I don't want to fuck myself, you know. Itni 2-3 mahina, I'm this complex mein nahi rehna chahta." But when I saw him, the way he was shooting it, suddenly it was not realistic. उसने बोला कि जब नुसरत एक राग गाता है, उसमें पैथोस होता है, उसमें पेन होता है. He is not going through that pain. It's there inside him. He is just playing on that pain. You know, he's just projecting in a way that he's also enjoying that pain. So that understanding I had, you know, when I did this film, and the next film which I did with him recently in Rajasthan, I didn't work at that character at all. I just went on the sets blank. I used to have great time at night, you know, just have parties, this and that. Go there, see the mahal, and do it spontaneously. Just then and there, just create it. And that gave me a lot of freedom, you know, that gave me a lot of, you know, it needed courage for me to, you know, no crutches, just dive and see what happens. And I loved that experience.
You know, Irfan, the one thing that really fascinated me last time, remember we had done a conversation, you and Kangana had talked to each other. And in that conversation you had said that Bhatt Sahab had sometimes, during directing, you had said, "Irfan, gandi acting, yaar."
Yeah, spoon feed.
Spoon. Yeah. So, how does an actor of your caliber purposely do gandi acting?
It's not gandi. He was not saying gandi acting. He was saying कि तू उसको अपने अंदर मत ले. Don't personalize it. Make it as a jugglery. Make audience, you know, जैसे हिंदी सिनेमा में क्या होता है कि एक्टर आएगा और जादू करेगा और ये सब हो जाएगा. बिकॉज और कुछ लैंग्वेज तो काम कर नहीं रही. आपका कैमरा जो है सिर्फ वो कवर कर रहा है, उसमें कोई लैंग्वेज नहीं है, लाइनें जो हैं वो फ्लैट हैं. तो अभी तो एक्टर ही है जो आके उसमें जादू भरेगा. सो ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट कि गिव, यू नो, अ सुपरफिशियल हिप्नोटिक थिंग, यू नो. गंदी से मतलब उनका वो था, यू नो. ही नेवर सेड कि तू खराब एक्टिंग कर, लोग देखे नहीं. बोला इतना अंदर पर्सनलाइज मत कर उसको, लाइन को फ्लरिश से बोल दे बस.
Is that hard for you to do, or can you do that easily?
You know, because I was you know, I don't know how it happened, but I was doing at a time two kind of series which are equally popular, Banegi Apni Baat and Chandrakanta. So now Chandrakanta was completely like line bazi and no character research, no nothing. You know, it's just it's how you convincingly say your lines. That's all it was about. And Banegi Apni Baat was very realistic, and you know. So somehow, you know, I think my background, my choices helped me doing this.
You can juggle between
the two. But the stylish version, you know, nobody bought it in the cinema. Although it was popular in series, but Jagannath and those characters were very popular. But in cinema, nobody was ready to give me that kind of opportunity.
The stylish version of Irfan.
The stylish version of Irfan. I'm thankful to them, you know. Otherwise, I would have miserably, you know, got sucked into it and lost my path. You know.
Irfan, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to Arjun Kapoor, and you know, we were trying to address the issue of an actor as a celebrity versus an actor as an artist. And I was saying to him that, now actors are not just acting. You are doing award shows, you're doing endorsements, you're on panel discussions, you're doing television serials. Does that distract in any way from being an actor? And he said, look, in our ecosystem, we're actually entertainers. And this is all part of being that. Do you see yourself as an entertainer?
I do myself see as an entertainer, but as far as art is concerned, whatever the responsibilities you have just mentioned, art doesn't fit in any of those. Art only comes when you start making things personal, and when you start reflecting on those things, life around you, life which surrounds you. Whatever you are absorbing as a human being, and then you are somehow communicating that observation, your own point of view about society, about human beings through those stories. If that is not happening, then art is not happening. You are just as entertainer, actor, celebrity, whatever you can call them. But artist only happens when you start reflecting, when you start personalizing things.
So you can compartmentalize in your head that here I'm an entertainer and here I'm an artist?
Yes, you have to. Otherwise you'll confuse. Otherwise you'll confuse the story, and you'll confuse the other people as well. You'll confuse the audiences also. When I'm doing a film which is just about one-liners, I have to deliver one-liners and enjoy it, and you shouldn't be skeptical about it, and just have fun. This story is about that. Somebody was telling me about this. He went to meet an actor, and he was sitting in his trailer, and he was doing all kind of meetings, and assistant was waiting. Sir, shot ready. Meeting chal rahi. Kya line kya bolna hai? He goes there, comes back in maybe 5 minutes, वापस meeting. So he was just wondering कि ये role कब कर रहा है यार? He's having all kind of meetings, from business propositions to other आगे की story, और कहाँ पिकनिक के लिए जाना है, कहाँ हॉलीडेज के लिए जाना है, और सब चल रहा है उसमें. उसको 15-20 मिनट निकालता है, अपना टाइम देखता है, and
बीच में एक लाइन भी बोलता है.
एक लाइन ही बोलता है. So that's what you become, and then if you enjoy that, you enjoy that. It's your personal priority. And उसमें भी आप पूछते हो कि भाई टाइम बता कब पैकअप हो गया, इतने में तय हुआ था, अभी से बोल 4 और भेज दे, आगे की डेट तब देता हूँ. So then you start playing that game, and if it suits you, please play that game, whatever works for you.
Irfan, you had also talked in interviews about the sort of the star system in Hindi cinema, and you said even the most interesting directors will at some point say कि नहीं अगली film में let me get a star, and you used very interesting words. You said it's a very strange feeling. They feel like they almost belong to some kind of a substandard community, नीची जात, until they worked with a star. Is this frustrating for you as an actor, or have you just made your peace with it?
This made me feel helpless at one point of time. But there were so many things which could make you helpless and frustrated. That's again a challenge, how to keep yourself, positive and interesting enough for yourself that you can enjoy yourself. You don't let it affect you that much. But it happens because you are not bringing in that kind of money, one. The other thing is, if you are doing something which is not from the copybook, not regular, which you are doing, if you bring in some new element to your craft, and which doesn't confine the norms, which doesn't confirm the norms, rather, there's a tendency of the establishment that they get threatened, because they couldn't use that. They think, what is this new thing? Can I use it? If I can't use it, so what is he doing? So there's a kind of strange way of pulling that down, to bring it down. And it doesn't happen directly, but it happens in these kind of signals, where you're not offered, oh, you're a बहुत बढ़िया actor है, चल आजा विलन कर ले इसमें, हम तो ग्रुप बना रहे हैं, साले ग्रुप में नहीं है तो तेरे को काम नहीं देंगे फिर, you know, that kind of, you know, एक attitude होता है. But no big deal, you know, you can fight it out, and you can not fight it out, you can find your own space, you know. You don't need to fight it, you just need to create your own space.
But did you, Irfan, while you were creating your own space, ever have a sort of dark night of the soul where you just felt like, yeah, I can't struggle against this anymore?
There were times, and there were also, it was because the way I was reacting to those circumstances. I've done movies with first-time directors who were making their first films, and suddenly I've seen them, you know, changing, and you know, suddenly saw them that first film was successful, and then the next film I wasn't important at all, and subconsciously you start banking on this team that, you know, we both have, you know, done something new, and then you start banking on that person, and he starts banking on you, and fortunately that happened, so I'm out of that game. Now I don't depend. I learned my lesson. I said, it's your own journey. You cannot, you know, it would be unfair on your part to start expecting that, you know, वो अपनी journey तुम्हारे accordingly, you know, lead करे. एक फिल्म आपके साथ काम किया, बहुत अच्छा लगा, enough. Let him, you know, do his own thing, and you do your own thing. So that was frustrating at that time, and before that, when I was doing series, I used to feel claustrophobic, jealous, insecure, because my juniors, they were getting breaks, they were doing commercial cinema, and I was struggling to just get a 1-minute part in a movie. I was doing series, everybody used to talk about me. I used to hear that, you know, Subhash Ghai, when he saw a series called Safar was on some channel. So he was talking to the director, वो बोल रहा है ये लड़का कौन है? तो उसने आके मुझे बताया. Then I used to wait कि किसी दिन सुभाष घई का phone आएगा. But I never got, you know, that break in cinema until the time was right.
I remember one discussion, Irfan, once we had about 100 crore clubs, and isne, you know, everybody used to say, "Meri picture ne 100 crore kiya, meri ne itna kiya." And Irfan said, I think he was just coming off Jurassic Park, and he's like, "Waise mine did about 20,000 crores." I just love that. I love that you are like functioning on another plane completely. It was just fabulous. But I remember you saying that it's just not cool for actors to be discussing money.
Not for me. Not for me that, you know, I have a kind of benchmark कि मेरी फिल्म इतने कर लिए तो मैं इतने फिगर का एक्टर हो गया. That's too boring for me. What a scale to judge yourself, man. That you are taking away all the mystery of storytelling. It's not a product which you know इतना का sell हो गया तो इतना का आप worth हो. It's an experience. Sometimes some stories are not made to make that kind of money. They are personal stories. There are certain stories which can make money which they wouldn't have even imagined. There were films which, you know, like Bahubali, they would have imagined कि मंडे को 40 crore का business होगा. It's an experience where it's a job which has mystery to it. Which has, you know, you can't judge a storytelling or a story from those figures. Figures are just byproduct. Story is a live thing. It is alive, zinda hoti hai, and it interacts with you, and you can see physically how it's interacting with you because it's a creation. Creation cannot be dead, and I can give you many examples how a story has come and, you know, nudged me and you know, created an atmosphere for me or challenged me. पान सिंह तोमर के दौरान अब you can say कि यार ये सब ये जो है इसको whatever you call mumbo jumbo, you can call it mumbo jumbo, but I believe it and I can show it to you. पान सिंह के दौरान I was getting hurt so many times and so badly you can't even, and without any rhyme or reason. I'm just walking and there's a kind of step which I didn't realize, and suddenly my back goes, which my back is, you know, it never, you know, it's not fragile, you know. I've done so many things and I'm not weak from my back, or I'm playing a cricket and suddenly a ball, you know, हल्के से ball डाली है और वो tennis की ball आके मेरी आँख पे लग जाती है. So many incidents happened. I tore my ligament. with a very small incident. I'm just jumping from here to there, and there are stones there, and the trouser, जो कि यहाँ था, वो suddenly slip होके नीचे आ गया, तो उस मेरा jump करने का जो जो space है वो कम हो गया. So मैं actually थोड़ा बंदूक लेके मैंने jump किया और वो यहीं रह गया. And मैं जैसे ही गिरा, टिश्यू वहाँ से वहाँ पे चला, अबे गया.
हाय राम.
और मैं पत्थर का भुर्र करके विद बंदूक एंड ऑल. सो दैट फिल्म वाज टेस्टिंग मी इन अ डिफरेंट वे कंप्लीटली. एंड आई गिव यू वन मोर एग्जांपल. क्योंकि आप जब ये लाइन थोड़ी अनसर्टेनिटी वाली है, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ों पे आप बिलीव करने लगते हैं. देन मुझे किसी ने सजेस्ट किया कि आप जा रहे हैं रुड़की, और इस टाइम के ऊपर आप जो है अपना मुहूर्त कर लीजिएगा, वो बड़ी अच्छी घड़ी है. तो हम भी, वो भी इनसिक्योर, तिशु भी, मैं भी इनसिक्योर. मैंने कहा यार तिशु यार ऐसा बोला यार, क्या करें यार. उसने कहा चल करते हैं ना यार. तो मैंने कहा तो कल 4 बजे का है, शाम को 4 से लेके 6:30 बजे तक का है मुहूर्त. तो उसने कहा हाँ कर लेंगे. अबे कैमरा तो है नहीं. तो कैमरा, अब तो उसे फ़ोन किया, कैमरा मंगवाओ. तो अब हम पहुंच गए वहाँ जाके. अब वो सीन कौन सा करेंगे, अरे इसकी कर लेते हैं कुछ ना, इस वाटर फ्लो देख यहाँ से पानी बह रहा है, इसके ऊपर कुछ यूज़ कर लेंगे फिर इसको. सो वी वर वेटिंग फॉर द कैमरा बाजी जी उतर गया जी. 4 बज गए, वो उतर गया वहाँ एयरपोर्ट पे. आ रहा है 5:30 बजे. मैंने कहा टाइम निकल रहा है यार. बोला गाड़ी पंक्चर हो गई जी. 6:30 बजे तक कैमरा नहीं आया तो नहीं आया. और फिर क्या क्या इंसिडेंट्स उस फिल्म के साथ हुए.
And that's the film you won a national award for.
And that's the film which exactly behaved what happened to Pan Singh Tomar in his life. Example, he was a talented man. He made national. He won national. He was national champion, and his name was not there at all when we started researching about him. It was absent. Pan Singh Tomar आप टाइप करो उसके अंदर, no record. Nobody knew him. Exactly same thing happened with the film. Film was made and everybody was loving it before its release, but it was not getting released. We got so frustrated after 8 months or 9 months. If anybody used to ask me what's happening with Pan Singh, I said I forgot Pan Singh. I don't talk to me about it. मेरी ज़िंदगी से Pan Singh is nowhere. It's gone, erased. And then suddenly film came out without any publicity. Nobody knew that एक रोखंड वाला में एक पोस्टर, मनी का बैग लेके दौड़ रहा है वो. एंड उसका कुछ 80 लाख 90 लाख ऐसा कुछ पहला दिन. सो एंड सडनली आग लगना शुरू हुई. And suddenly the film stood on its own merits. So see the correlation between his life and film and how it interacts. So
and clearly muhurats don't matter, Irfan.
नहीं, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No. हम जो नारियल फोड़ते हैं हॉलीवुड में तो कोई नहीं फोड़ता.
Irfan, what's the worst advice you see being dispensed in Bollywood?
It all generates from a strange kind of insecurity to fall into a kind of formula. People who haven't reached there, they also have a kind of a say on how things work and what gives you success. And this premature way of understanding things is something is a kind of folly. कि आप बगैर एक्सपीरियंस के you have made kind of formula कि जी ऐसे करोगे तो होगा, ऐसे करोगे तो होगा. One must interact with oneself and see one's potential and see what is unique about oneself and get evolved as an actor. I think falling into formula is something which can reduce one's possibility and one's uniqueness.
Yeah, those are good lines to remember, folks. Always don't fall into formula. Achha, Irfan, we always think of you as this very intense, serious actor. But I remember reading this interview Rohan Joshi from AIB did after they shot that amazingly funny video with you, the club song. And he said that they were all so nervous about meeting you, but he said you were all kinds of chill.
Yeah.
So what do you like when you're not working?
When I'm not working, I'm scattered actually. I'm scattered, and I see every house. I try and find a space for myself. कि यहाँ मैं बैठूँगा आराम से, कॉफ़ी पीऊँगा, चाय पीऊँगा, पढ़ूँगा. बट वो सब जगहें ऐसी रह जाती हैं. मैं पूरे घर में टहल रहा होता हूँ. मैं जब स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ रहा होता हूँ तो कभी वहाँ हूँ, कभी स्क्रिप्ट मेरी उस कमरे में है, लाइन में यहाँ बोल रहा हूँ, फिर अब उस लाइन की बात क्या है, ओ फक किधर स्क्रिप्ट. सो आई एम बेसिकली a scattered man. I'm not an organized man. When you see actors doing wonderful roles, when you see people changing themselves completely and getting into that cannot happen spontaneously. You have to work on yourself and diligently work on yourself.
But which you do.
I do, yeah, I do. But because character excites me. But when I'm not doing characters, at that time also, it's for me, I should be able to keep tuning myself, at least, because I have done a lot of abusing, I abuse myself, my body and my, whatever, Now I'm slowed down, but I'm a very reckless man. And, I used to carry a lot of anger, which I've controlled. I've dealt with it, and I'm peaceful. So the whole being is your tool. So it's it becomes a kind of a responsibility, or a kind of, you should enjoy taking care of oneself.
Take care of your soul also.
Soul also. That's what it is. To enrich your soul through your job. It has to have communication both ways. Otherwise, you're doing injustice to your job. Yeah, you're killing a possibility.
That's lovely. That's lovely. I have to tell you guys, I did an interview with Irfan and Tom Hanks for Inferno. And I remember Tom Hanks saying something like, well, I don't like Irfan because when he walks into the room, suddenly I'm not the coolest person in that room. I thought that was a great line. Okay, let's open it up to questions.
My name is Ankit. I wanted to ask you, can the USP of any actor be created, or that is something which is inborn?
Yes. You create your own USP as you start discovering yourself. First, it's a natural thing to ape or to imitate other actors, or to find confidence when you resemble somebody. I used to resemble, somebody gave me this wrong idea that my face is similar to Mithun Chakravarti, and I used to feel so good about it. And I used to, copy him, and I used to take, मैं उसके dialogues बोलता था, tape करता था उनको, and I used to, there's a kind of gratification that, I resemble this, so there's a possibility, so, I am not what I am, suddenly you want to skip all that process and become Mithun Chakravarti. So, but as you start discovering yourself, there is a kind of organic style, your being, which start reflecting on the characters, and that's your USP. Your understanding, your perception, becomes your own USP. Yeah.
Hi sir, my name is Raj, and you've done a variety of characters who've, with their backstories and stuff, that they belong to various parts of the world, or even various parts of India. And how important is diction, language, and the way the character speaks to developing the character?
If the story, if the script demands that, then it becomes very, very important. That's what I realized in Maqbool. At that time it was my second film, and what I was doing when I was trying to personalize things, I was putting my own way of speaking into. I was freshly coming from a hasil, and that's what I was doing, and I did in Maqbool, and suddenly I realized that the power of the line has gone. जैसे ही मैंने अपना word घुसेड़ा उसमें, जैसे ही मैंने उसको dilute किया, it was not a realistic language. It was a constructed language, but it has its own music and own power. जहाँ मैंने उसके साथ छेड़खानी की, the power is gone. And I realized that then I stuck to what Vishal has written.
How has becoming famous changed you as a person? For example, you talked a little bit about how you had anxiety. So would you say that you're a happier person now that you're successful?
Mm-hmm. Why do you ask this? Are you asking it to understand that if one becomes popular or known, does it make you happy?
Yeah, that's exactly from your personal.
Do you expect that if when you'll be known, you'll be a happier person?
No.
It depends on what you take of it. Sometimes popularity or fame can destroy you, and sometimes, personally with me, it has healed me. It has because I don't look at popularity, just popularity, because my focus is not just popularity is again byproduct. What I'm doing is much more important for me, and that doing brings the popularity. So it's a byproduct. What you are doing to your job will bring a kind of, whatever it will bring to you. So what relationship you have with your job, is it satisfying you? If that is satisfying you, then everything will fall into place.
Hi, sir. You said playing characters excite you, so I would like to know, personally for you as an actor, what has been the most exciting and challenging character you've played till date?
These are two things, exciting and challenging. There were some characters that were challenging but were very painful, very painful. And I was just mentioning that in an interview. I did a character in a series called In Treatment. It was by HBO with Gabriel Byrne, and I was playing a mentally disturbed person. And the kind of writing it had was, it was very complex character. And his age was like 54, 56, 59, whatever. My life didn't have that kind of complication. So where do I bring all those elements to fit into this, this outline of this character? So that was really painful for me. What all I was doing to myself to appear that I'm as disturbed as this character. So the challenge was there to do that character, but that experience was not enjoyable. It was painful. So when the shooting was over, I literally screamed as if I had won the World Cup. And everybody was surprised what happened to him. I said, I'm out of this. I will not remember this guy ever. But I'll carry this, this thick script which I have to learn in few days, which was like I'm giving exam. It just reminded me of examination days, where you have to learn. So there are exciting characters like Pan Singh and other characters, you enjoy and you want to keep, you want to keep them in your, in your being, you always remember them with fondness and with warmth. So Pan Singh was one of the characters, and there are many more characters.
Thank you so much,
Phir kabhi.
Irfan. Thank you. Phir kabhi. Thank
you.
Really.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was so lovely.
Thank you very much.
So instructive. And I'm going to remember your words. Your job has to enrich your soul. That is my
as a
take
human
home for
being,
today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and please subscribe to Film Companion.